this was on when? On Tuesday. This is what Murkomen said. Tumsikize kidogo.
To bring public order again and to really protect our police officers going forward, we are going to work together with Parliament to ensure that there is a Public Order Act that really defines clearly how demonstrations will be done, which routes where people can present their petitions, where can you protest, where can demonstration happen, and then so that you don't inconvenience other citizens, you don't also cause problems around schools, around hospitals, around estates. We need to designate proper areas where people can demonstrate and picket and make sure that time of picketing, of demonstrating is also defined. And we will then be able to protect genuine citizens who want to exercise Article 37 of the Constitution, and we will be able to attack at the goons who may want to come and loot shops. And
Okay, so first reaction from your part.
Yeah, hata sikuwa nimesikia. But the purpose of demonstrations and picketing is to disrupt. So if they are going to set these regulations for protests so that life can continue as normal, then it defeats the purpose of demonstrating and picketing.
Yes.
We can't agree. We can't allow all these things to happen. And if they force themselves, because they still have time, and they put these are things with the next government, we hope that they're going to immediately, reverse and get rid of them.
Did you umefeel your irony ya kusema we do not want protests around schools? Well, the first protest that we think about ikikam to Ruto ilikuwa ile protest ya Weston where
at primary.
Yes, he let the police tear gas
children,
primary school children, not even high school, primary school.
Yeah. And these are the children who grew up and started Ruto Must Go. So I mean, he started radicalizing people kitambo, unfortunately.
Yeah. So this is what wanaita the Public Service Order Act. Alafu he's even like ukisikiza the whole thing, he's very condescending, because at some point he says mtakuja protest, then you can go home feeling good or some shit. He said some disrespectful stuff.
And police stations, among others. That way we will have our country in order. We want to be as helpful as possible. I want to see, it is my dream, and I hope that dream comes soon, that we will have demonstrations in Kenya and protests and picketing that will be escorted by police officers. And the people who are picketing and demonstrating will be carrying their drums, their vuvuzelas, their paraphernalia, regalia, in a very peaceful manner, showing what exactly they would like to protest against, in a very orderly manner, in a designated street, and police officers escorting them. And then after the whole protests, when the time is over, they shake hands with police officers and wish themselves the very best and go home. That is the kind of protest, picketing, and demonstration that Article 37 of the Constitution promises. And I want to be one. I want us as a National Police Service, and I pray the citizens who will be demonstrating will come to our help, and the rest of Kenya, including Parliament, will come to our help. The rest of Kenya.
So
I think
madharau tu. Madharau kuambia hii kazi yenyu ni kupiga tu kelele kwa barabara, there's nothing else you should be doing.
Hata hiyo kupiga kelele is against. Ina maana
or to march quietly,
march peacefully.
Yes.
As in he's describing a walk. Machikizi walk zenye sijui ni what, heart run ama vitu kama hizo, toke na gear, and then you shake hands with police.
Wende home.
Yeah, nataka mtembe, do not picket, do not shout. Hata was this the same Nini walikuwa wamesema they will be looking at also what you've written in your placards.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
So kama Nini lazima nikuulize, because vile nikuambia naitwa commercial activist. So kama commercial activist ukisikia hivi, will you still make money through this? Like I want you to give your opinion, because mimi I mean nakuaga, I'm still a keyboard warrior, yes. Have I shown up in the streets? Yes, 25th and ilikuwa, but I'm more of this, I do this every day, civic education, yes, but I'm not on the ground kama wewe. That's why I need your opinion on this, because I remember looking at this and listening to this, and I'm there like, this is some bullshit. but I'm not on ground. We come to kwa ground. What does this mean?
Again, protests, if they allowed protests to happen the way it is defined right now in the Constitution, there is no looting that happens.
Yes.
Looting, they are the ones who cause. There is no disruption, that unreasonable disruption that happens. Protests, they're supposed to disrupt, because otherwise, how do you get the people's attention, and how do you get the attention of whoever you're directing your complaints towards? And him just reducing protests to people walking on the streets and beating drums and then shaking hands with the police, considering the amount of atrocities that we have seen from the police, not just in the past 1 year, in the past like 2 weeks, and then saying that these are people we are supposed to walk side by side with and then shake hands. Imagine it's just a mockery of our responsibilities as citizens, a mockery of our efforts towards attaining a better country. And basically they're telling us mtadu. I feel that is what they're doing, and that level of limitations should not be allowed at all.
Uli, by any chance, did you visit Boniface Karaoke?
No, I personally I'm not capable. My emotional and mental bandwidth does not allow me to do the hospital visits.
Yes, because the reason I was asking you, ulichekile report pia ilitokea on Tuesday where they were talking about the autopsies that were done. So I think they did like 6 autopsies at City Mortuary.
City Mortuary, yeah.
3 were gunshots to the head. Then kulikuwa another watchman who was shot in the stomach. He was shot in the stomach, yes?
Yeah. Then blunt force trauma.
Yes. So I remember talking about it, and I was saying, zile za, because even akina Pasaris wa Kibonga, this is to protect lives. I was like, all the lives that have been taken so far have been strictly by the police. Not even one gun has been killed by citizens. Citizens were disciplined, but they've not
been killed.
Yes.
But have you seen even what they're trying to do? I saw the sub-county commander, our police, they recovered firearms that were stolen on 25th.
Yeah,
and that same lady is the one who stood at the pulpit Kotini in Rex's inquest saying that police don't have monopoly of carrying firearms. So they are trying to insinuate that it's not just police killing people, there's other people killing as well. Whatever they can do to push the blame away from the people responsible. And these are the things that are making us keep going back to the streets and complaining and demanding for changes.
Yeah, alafu history ya extrajudicial, when did you start following it like keenly? During Ruto's regime or before?
I was following things up online, but never really going to the ground. But after last year, especially after Rex's death and the fundraiser that was done, and then we started accompanying. It was the NGOs Amnesty and Vocal Africa to these families and doing these postmortems and all that. That is when it's occurred to me how bad the situation is.
Yes.
So I've actually followed from last year June. I've followed the medical of some the people who are injured and the postmortems, and I never went to burials, but I'm in touch with a lot of their family members, helping them in seeking out justice. Like I've never missed a single case or hearing of Rex's case, and since last year now I've become more actively, like I've started going to the ground and interacting directly with people, and it is bad. It is bad. Ata the 159 you're talking about, it's
on the lower side.
It's on the lower side. Just since Albert Ojwang and when Boniface was shot. No. When we did the protest on 25th, IPOA came out and said at least 20 people had died in the hands of the police. And that's just 2 weeks.
ingine in custody wengi wao in custody wana claim still the suicide thing.
Yeah. So one, the actual cases are underreported, and even those that are underreported, they are not even a single case is like investigated and prosecuted to finality. Because 1 year down the line, bado tuko kwa inquest. That means a trial has not started.
Yes.
They are seeking to check if it is worth starting a trial for only one person, Rex Masai. What about the other 69 plus? And their family members that we know of, and the others who
And
we
that
do
is
not
that
know
cop
of.
is he still on active duty? Am I-
Yuko hata ukienda Central Police sahi, high chances ni utakutana naye. He's there.
ekonene soko us unatrai kutuma do Kenya, tumia lemfi number 1 kupatiaga the best exchange rates, alafu on your first $100 ilunatuma unabaki umepata $20 cashback, alafu ukitumia the referral code ekonene si wenyewe pia tunapata $20, so unaenda up umesupport ekonene ndio tukuwe na better lighting. Cheki jo saizi si unaona unzaniona the last time niliduya day lemfi ulikuwa unaniona hivi, was I this clear? And this is because of the other people who supported vile litumia ile promo code ekonene ya lemfi. So baki umechangamka, ingia lemfi, alafu saizi pia kitu poa, si lazima ubaki umeload wallet yako, unabaki umeshikanisha debit card yako na lemfi, so kituma do ni instant ikienda kule inaenda, alafu kama kawaida pia kuna zero transfer fees, $20 cashback, una support ekonene, alafu pia vile musemaga jo lemfi international payments for everyone ekonene.
Okay. But cause reason I was asking you this is because Matiang'i alikuwa na interview na Sam Gituku and of course he was asked about the extrajudicial killings zile za kina Rivayala. I wanted to see your 2 cents on this, and alafu pia niambie how, if you're looking forward to him being your next president.
He can't be our next president.
Okay, but acha tusikize.
Because I've been seeing every time people say I'm going to go into public life, people start playing a song with 2 stanzas, Rivayara, Ruarakaland, and so on, and you see it repeated over and over again. I've never had an opportunity myself to publicly look the cameras in the face and say this is what it is and so on. When in 2021, the issue of a report was published by a local media about bodies being pulled out of Rivayala, just like I saw last week and the week before. For us, we asked the Inspector General of Police, Mutiambai, what was happening at that time. We agreed that the gravity of the situation is such that the DCI himself should go to that place and find out what's happening. The DCI spent some time there with a team from the DCI. When they came back, we asked for an inquest. We demanded an inquest. At the National Security Council, we asked for an inquest. Can we go into this matter and find out what's happening? The DCI and the police told us, fortunately for us, their bodies. Let us get the families to claim the bodies, then we build the stories from there. We open the file, we take statements from the families so that we understand the circumstances under which these people disappeared and the circumstances under which their bodies were found in Rivayala.
So, yo, Matiang'i, what he said?
It's the same as now we are complaining Ruto must go. Has Ruto actually killed someone directly?
Yeah.
But he's responsible. And Matiang'i was responsible for these things at that time as a Minister of Interior Affairs. And the fact that we don't know whether for sure he ordered or orchestrated some of these things, but the fact that they did not do enough to show the public that they're actually doing something to sort the situation on extrajudicial killings, or even to get justice to the people that had already been affected, tell us that he was complicit. And I've seen how the judicial system in our country works. It's as if it is slowed down for a reason. We saw as an example of Baby Pendo's case, all those years, and look at how it ended. So it's by design.
Meisha.
I think they were going to appeal, but it's effectively concluded. Nobody was
found guilty?
prosecuted. And I think it's that way by design, and that's why, to me, somebody like Matiang'i cannot be an option, because we've seen what is capable with him being in charge of certain things. Yeah.
But how do you think we are going to appeal to the rural crowd? Because, they're the ones who still think tribe is important. They're the ones who think... on Friday, tulikuwa na live, yes? And on the live, someone asked, like, if we feel like economic sabotage can help. Sindio? So, by economic, alikuwa nasema, where we decide to... tuna boycott ni economic boycott, that is saying something like, hey, this would make sense. And I think the easiest way we can do is that matatu that flouts all traffic rules in Rongai, people need to make sure they don't go to that matatu. And I remember someone reacted and he was like, what do you mean by that? So why should nani anaitwa Nick Ruto amani George, whatever, I don't know, one of them suffer because of that? And I looked at their name and I saw nile tu ya anaitwa nani ya Kalonzo, your name betrays you. And I feel like this is the situation. This is the reason why a lot of Luos right now are celebrating that akina Opiyo Wandayi na Mbadi wako government, not because they benefited anything, but because of tribe. So how do we go around that? Hata nyi mkidu your civic education, how do you go around that? Kuambia wase like, just because someone is from your tribe does not mean they're good for you.
Yeah. It's just showing, repeating them these scenarios and situation to them, like bringing to their minds what has so and so being in power benefited you individually. How has it made your situation better? If they have given you specific amount of money, how long did it last you? And how did it help towards securing a better future for yourself and for your children? It's one conversation at a time. Unfortunately, it's not something that there's no switch I feel like we can flip. It's just continuing with the engagement and the conversations and hoping that it's actually going to light something in people's minds. But tribalism in itself is something that has been set by design from even the colonial times against us. And what has taken generations to build is also going to take generations to destroy.
Yeah. Okay. And then kulikuwa na story yako na the king of Netherlands, vile nasemekana ulienda hapo kuwine and dine.
Tuliwine and dine State House.
Inasemekana gani State House? Was it actually a State House?
No, we never went to State House.
It was at the residence, you know?
Yeah, it is that fat toad who started that narrative that I was invited by Ruto and we were at State House and we were eating. First of all, it was Ramadan. So, me sikukula anything uko. But I went there at the invite of one of the workers of the embassy.
Embassy, yes.
Yeah. And it was through one of the I can't even remember these NGOs. Unajua, some of them ni ile Shakira, she's eloquent, we believe she stands for what is good, and if this meeting has to happen, I feel like she will be able to represent well. That is what happened. I never interacted with anybody from the government. I never went to State House. I never dined or wined, and again, I was not even paid anything. Yeah, I catered for my transport there and back, and for me, I felt like, the petition was written addressed to the king and queen. So if I was there physically delivering the petition and questioning why they decided to ignore all these signatures and still come anyway, I didn't feel like I was betraying anyone or anything for that matter. But to be honest, that meeting was a PR stunt even on the side of the Dutch government, because they promised they're going to follow up in calling out these matters and ensuring that the government actually does something towards it. They did call out in public speeches, but them following through with ensuring that actual tangible steps are happening, they haven't done that.